What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here, bringing you this week's episode of Stompbox Saturday, and on the stomping block today, we have the Echo X and Dr. Freakenstein's assistant, Igor, from Rainger Effects. Now, we've seen just about any kind of delay pedal you can imagine, from analog to digital, and we've even seen mini digital delay pedals. So what exactly sets this one apart from the rest of the pack? Well, I think it comes down to two things: expressive features and tonality. What do I mean? Well, to my ears, this is probably one of the warmest sounding digital delays that I've ever come across. It doesn't really have that ice pick highs in the ears, and it's brash and it's harsh and it's not very fun to play. This definitely doesn't sound like that. Then, the expressive features. Using this little guy, we can do some pretty cool things. So, let's dive right in and take a look at the bare bones features. You have 5 knobs on the front of the pedal for level, rate, feedback, input, and volume. Now, level's going to adjust the amount of delays you hear in your signal. Rate is going to be your delay time, with a max time of around 580 milliseconds. Not a whole lot, but hey, it's enough to get through just about any job. And then the feedback is the amount of repeats you're going to be hearing. Now, the one cool thing I can say about this delay pedal is the input gain that you have on the pedal. You can choose to drive the front end of it a little harder to get some really cool delay artifacts, kind of in the vein of like an Echoplex or an old tape delay. Really, really cool. And I kind of like to have it so that the overload light is always sort of coming on whenever I'm playing. I just personally like the way that it sounds. And then your volume setting your overall effect volume. But when we get to the expressive functions with our little friend Igor right here, we have the 2 buttons on the front. Send on the left and feedback rate on the right. Now, on the right, feedback, that's going to adjust the amount of repeats that you're going to hear. So as you press onto Igor and you start putting a little bit of pressure on it, you get more and more repeats, kind of getting you into a sort of self-oscillation, which is always really fun to play around with. And then with the rate, it actually helps manipulate the delay time. When you press the send button in, it actually bypasses everything entirely, so that when you're playing and have the pedal on, you don't really hear anything. But as you begin to apply pressure, then you start to hear your delay. So say there's a part of a song that you don't want any delay in. Fine, just leave it alone. But you want just a little bit, apply a little bit of pressure. You want a lot, hammer that thing right into the ground. Really, really fun to play around with. So let's take a look at what we can do with Echo X. Now, any delay pedal worth its salt should be able to get us a good slapback tone. I think we got something pretty special with this guy. I've actually turned up the input around where I like to leave it, 3 o'clock on the dial. I find that gives us just a nice little bit of grit and really helps those slaps really get heard. Now, you guys know me. I love a good echo sound on a solo, and I think the Echo X does something pretty special. I've dialed in something with a little less input gain than I usually like to put on, because, quite frankly, when you're playing with distortion, you don't need that much. have it, everybody. There is your look at the Echo X from Rainger Effects. Now, as the pedal itself, I love it. The size is great for a real estate starved pedal board, and the tones that you can get range from classic to crazy. Now, the Igor concept, that's where we hit a bit of a snag. It's a very cool idea. A pressure-sensitive pad as opposed to an expression pedal? Why not? Somebody's got to be an innovator. But in practice, it's very complicated to manipulate. In fact, I tried to film a segment or two for this video where I could show you how it worked, and it just didn't seem to come across really well, which is unfortunate. But I'd really like to see if I could get the same effects with the expression of the feedback, the rate, and the overall delay sound with just a normal expression pedal. I'll have to check that out and get back to you guys later. But hey, the pedal itself, love it. Absolutely love it. But hey, that's just what I thought. Let me know what you guys think. Shoot me a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for next week's episode. And until then, I've been Sean Pierce Johnson. I wish you good tone and happy stomping. Cheers, everybody.